Hey guys, welcome back to Marvel Theory. Today we're going to talk about a new leak coming from the production of Marvel's Eternals. This one talks a bit about Kit Harrington's character, Black Knight, and what we can expect from him on the big screen. A lot of folks are curious about that character, especially since he operates in the comic books in such a weird way, just like some of Marvel Studios' other popularly adapted characters. We'll talk about that and the new leak about Harrington's character in today's video. Before we get going, remember, I'd really appreciate if you guys could hit that like and subscribe button. It's a blast to make all these videos, and I would really love to keep going with the channel. Alright, so I wanted to remind you guys to take all of this with a grain of salt, or grain of sand if you're here from Star Wars Theory. These leaks are sometimes right, but sometimes wrong. But the main reason we cover them is, they're always fun. It's great to talk about leaks or spoilers before the films come out. It just increases hype and speculation, and as I said, it's just enjoyable. So keep an open mind before diving in. This leak popped up on the internet over the past few weeks. Supposedly, this comes from a VFX artist. He claims that he's seen nearly finished designs for Celestials, Eternals, and Black Knight. When talking about Black Knight, he specifically references a lightsaber-ish weapon. If you're a fan of Black Knight from the comic books, then you'll probably recognize that this scooper is likely talking about the photon sword from the comics. That weapon is pretty obviously inspired by Star Wars lightsabers, but it functions a little bit differently. While lightsabers are weapons meant to slice, dice, and melt away at enemies in combat, the photon sword is a disruptor, meaning when it strikes an enemy, it jolts their nervous system. It always looks pretty painful in the comics. If Marvel Studios has indeed given Black Knight his photon sword in the Eternals flick, then I'm pretty sure they'll adapt it from its original form. Kevin Feige and crew often amend the characteristics of their characters and weapons to make them more appealing for their films. The most notable example being Star-Lord's element gun, which was able to conjure all 4 elements in the comic books, but is just another space blaster in the movies. If I were a betting man, I'd bet that this film iteration of the photon sword will be much more like a lightsaber, provided that this scooper is even talking about the photon sword to begin with, that is. Perhaps this leak is referring to a different Black Knight weapon, the Sword of Light. That weapon is often illustrated as a silver blade with a glowing, fiery aura. Unlike the photon sword, the Sword of Light shares many characteristics with lightsabers. It's able to deflect projectiles and energy attacks, as well as project magical energy that Black Knight absorbed through his shield. I'd imagine it'd be pretty easy for Marvel Studios to combine the 2 weapons into a single film-adapted version. What do you guys think? Are you psyched for Black Knight to appear with his photon sword on the silver screen next year? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and remember, with great power comes great responsibility.